steadily it rises. Public preference for Lincoln Continental as the symbol for today's luxury motoring.
Hey, it's Jason ODB, the Lincoln Addict. I'm going to hit you guys with another video. And this one kind of ties into a lot of the comments that I'll receive primarily on Facebook, sometimes on Instagram, when I do a post. In the past, I had posted some cars via my Lincoln Continental sales account on Instagram. Now, I do need to set that up on Facebook as well, but I just haven't taken the plunge to do that. And a lot of times, if I'm helping someone sell a car or I'm networking with someone to go, hey, you got a super nice car, we'll come up with a price. And obviously, that's not going to always be kosher with everyone, just because, everybody, rightfully so, has an opinion on what they think a car should sell for, or more importantly, what they believe it's worth. So someone had commented recently when I had shared a price of a car, and of course, everyone feels like they're always right in these situations. So the person had kind of made a offhand comment, yeah, well, show me 3 in a row across the block, and then we'll talk. And I was like, okay, no problem. Now, the car in question was this one, $304,700. Of course, that is that includes fees. So the price that you'll see that'll go across the block is going to be a little bit less. And it's because, there are fees. And again, right here with the asterisk, it does say includes buyer commission. But basically, this car right here, I had shared in social media, and I think I even did a review on his current car that's going to go in 2023 at Barrett-Jackson. It's a 61. This one was one that Justin sold a year ago, again, over $300,000 with the fees. Now, you're going to look at this car, many of you, and say, hey, it's, I'm more of a purist. This isn't something, that I would even want. Totally understand. Now, listen, I love these cars. I love custom Lincolns. I love stock Lincolns. I'm not here to debate whether these cars should be touched or not. I'm just here from a journalistic standpoint to cover what's going on in the market. As a fan of these cars, hey, I'm not the builder of this car. I always like to tell people, I think sometimes when I post in social media, people do think I'm the builder. Let me be ultra clear. I do not have the skill set to build one of these cars. Now, I could oversee a project and I could pull together an awesome project, but I'm not a paint and body guy. I'm not a welder. So on this car, it sold for $305,000 a year ago. So again, when I post like my friend Tom's 65 Lincoln and people said, you're out of your mind asking that much, there's no way it would ever sell that much. Of course, I can back it up with a post to say, yes, they have sold for that much. And more than likely, Tom's car will go for more money if he's willing to risk and gamble and do the no reserve. Tom's car will likely sell for more than what we were asking for. Now, that's not a guarantee. Totally get it. But again, coming up later this month, we're going to see the barometer for how the market is. Now, I haven't even touched upon Mecum. Mecum was just January. I was texting with Chris Dunn from Lincoln Land, and we've seen high prices there, okay? So if there's a barometer at Mecum for these cars, trust me, my fingers are crossed, it's going to go pretty well later this month. But this was $305,000, okay? So I'm going to show you 3 cars from 1 year ago, January 2022, that sold for a nice amount. So there's that one. Before I show you the record holder, let's go here. Now I'm signed in, so you can get a sneak peek right here of the price. This was Ali's car, so he's created many of these kind of creations. Got a chance to meet him at the Raddy's event back in September 2022, and he owns the company Isotope Wheels. So you'll see these wheels, as I mentioned in the past, a lot on these cars, and he's the guy behind making all that happen. Now, you look at this car and you go, hey, it's a Resto mod. Some of you are going to cringe and go, hey, I'm not a believer in GM drivetrains in these cars. Hey, again, I'm not here to debate that. I'm here to kind of show you what it went for. This car clearly is not an original car. It has an upgraded drivetrain. You can see it has air conditioning. It's got some of the bulkhead fittings here and things like that go through. And if we look at it again, 320, let's call it 325K, right? This is a 4-year, no expense spared build and restoration, 6.2 liter LS3 V8. And I do believe it, it's got a lot of bells and whistles like wheels, tires, big brakes, and things like that. But it is not, I do not believe it is air suspension. It's not airbagged. It's got a lot of different stuff. It also has, it has a Christian Paul Customs. I've mentioned those deck lids. Those are fiberglass deck lids. It does not have an original deck lid as it was rusted out. So check this out. This car, again, not airbagged. I do not believe from the description, right? It's not, I don't see it laying on the ground in terms of bags, but you look at it and go, okay, the skeleton from a 60s Lincoln is there. It's got the upgraded speakers. It's got a sound system. It's got bucket seats. I believe that's a Colorado custom wheel. I believe, I could be wrong on that, but this is clearly a modernized Lincoln, right? So you go, well, Jay, you've posted a couple in the past, 150, 250, 275,000, that's an insane asking price. Absolutely. I mean, it's something I wouldn't be able to go buy necessarily, but keep in mind, like I've said before, it doesn't mean that these cars won't sell for that. This car, again, number 2 that I just shared, over 300 grand. And this isn't, yesterday. This is over 365 days ago at Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale. So you go 1, 2, where's the third one? Okay, boom. Gold Dust. So Joe at Weld County Customs builds this amazing car, sets the record as far as I know. Others have also reinforced that. You look at this car and go, okay, well, it's not sitting on the ground there. You look at the engine, the drivetrain. I mean, I could do a whole feature on this one. I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe I did. Barrett-Jackson shared this on their social media. And so typically when you ask a lot for a car, the responses start off with, you're insane. Nobody will pay that. Then you share an example of a car that sells for that much. And then typically the comments become, well, there's an idiot everywhere, right? If I recall correctly, the person that bought this car from the feed that I watched was an older gentleman, might have been easily over 70 years old, right? So you can't easily say, oh, it's the young guys ruining these cars, blah, blah, blah. This is a high-end, no matter how you spin it, high-end hot rod build, okay? This car right here is not sitting on the ground. Custom wheels, amazing bodywork. The aesthetics have been changed. Obviously, like, you don't see the trim piece right here. Crazy, nice offset, big lipped, rear wheel, so to speak. Just a truly timeless Lincoln. Almost if maybe Lincoln built one of these today and they made it more of like a hot rod or maybe a higher end build. We've seen Dodge do this with some of their cars, offer a package that, typically, is going to be on the run-of-the-mill cars. Truly an amazing car, no matter how you slice or dice it. Now, again, $715,000, okay? I don't think anybody maybe thought at that time it was going to go for that. It's got the Coyote V8, 5.0 liter. But certainly, again, if we look at facts only, these cars are going, they can and will and have went for this much money. Now, we could do a number 4, a Maybelline. So Ken Diggett, if you watch Bitchin' Rides on Motor Trend TV, a couple of the guys, the truck club that I'm in, they work there. Actually, Dave's right-hand guy, he works there. He's on TV, and great people, an amazing shop. But this was Maybelline. And just a truly amazing car. Again, this is clearly a Resto mod. I'm sure hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not more, were spent in this car. And some of you will look at it and say, dude, it's not for me and whatnot. But remember, when you're selling, most sellers are always going to say, I want to get the most for my product. If you're selling a house, a lot of people go, man, I want to get the most. You want a realtor that's going to give you the most. The same goes for a car. I'm all about selling these cars for a nice profit. if someone's willing to pay the price, as long as it's not, as long as it's a nice car. Now, if it's a rotted out car and someone's done lipstick job on it, I am totally against people on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Bring a Trailer, wherever. I'm totally against people lying about cars or not knowing enough, and they misinform a buyer. That to me is not a good thing. But a car like this and the three others that I showed you, hey, there's plenty of people out there that have this money. Some of this stuff becomes a write-off for them, however they're doing their business. And it can and does happen all the time. So I just showed you 4 cars in January of 2022 that sold for over $300,000, one in the 700,000, and then this one, of course, 808. Now, when I did mention this car having the record, my understanding for a 60s Lincoln, so I think 61 through 67, that's when they made the convertibles, I do believe this car holds the record for the most. Now, we have seen JFK linked or Jackie O linked Lincoln Continentals sell for a lot, hundreds of thousands. And certainly if you tie a name like John F. Kennedy or Jackie O to one of those cars, certainly that's going to elevate the price 100%. But I'm talking about from a custom Lincoln perspective and possibly even factoring in those JFK Lincolns. I'd have to look back at my notes, but I do believe this is the record. And again, look how beautiful this car is. Not for everyone, certainly not in my price range. But from a journalistic standpoint, I'm going to continue to cover these things. And whether you look at it for entertainment or maybe a way for you to think about down the future, maybe you want to buy one of these cars, certainly they're out there. I'll close it with this. Here, same year, this one was a 64. Real nice looking car, more of a factory car. This is going to be probably along the price ranges of a lot of us, or, we'd want to get one for less, obviously, but $71K. So the barometer has been set years ago. Let's continue to see, what the market will show us. We'll look back at some Mecum very soon. That just passed. And then we'll look forward to Barrett-Jackson, which is going to be later this month. I have a friend selling a car, Charlie. We also know of some of the other sellers that are going to be selling their cars, so I'll be covering more of that. Keep it tuned here to Lincoln Addict and check out Lincoln Addict Podcast, however you find podcasts. Certainly appreciate. Let me know what you think. Am I insane for covering this? Okay. Do you believe the prices are off the hook and they should never go that high? What are your thoughts? That's what the comment section's for. Let me know. Okay. I'm not going to hate on it. We may agree to disagree, but that's the beauty of this. Take care, everyone. Stay on the rise. Peace.